Great. So can you see that, Melissa? So
yeah, I can see it. That looks great. Okay.
Thank you. All right. So again, welcome everyone. Today I'm going to talk a bit about my experience in producing plays. I have been part of big productions and also smaller productions. So everything that I'm going to tell you today can be applied to big productions or small productions. Let's go. Okay, great. So because we're teachers, we need to talk a little bit about the theory behind using drama in the classroom. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because what I want to do is I want to give you more of practical skills and things that you could do that could help you put a play together. So why drama? Can you help me? And maybe can you type on the chat and guess what are those words that are covered? What do you think those words are? So I will ask you if you can maybe guess those words and write them on the chat. So then I can uncover them for you. All right. Okay, good. Okay, we start. Okay, yes, some good guesses here. Oh, very good. Okay, I see some people really guessed correctly. All right, yes, very interesting guesses. Okay, good. So I see some of you have already written the answers to this question. So yes, language should be obviously interactive. It should be meaningful and it should also be engaging. So drama can do this for your students in class. There is obviously some theoretical framework that and some theoretical background that can explain why using drama in the classroom. And I know that you are familiar with this, with the communicative language teaching or the sociocultural theory or the experiential learning. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I will reassure you that there is theory behind. Now, what are the benefits of drama? There are so many benefits. For example, you can explore emotions with your students at any age or any level. It is very important that students can talk about how they feel. They can express their emotions in the target language. Also, it helps develop creativity. It encourages a lot of risk-taking because you immerse students into situations in which they have to take risks to solve the situation. So it also involves problem-solving skills, critical thinking. As we know, it will also help you develop reading and writing skills and also your ability to analyze text. And if you want more information about this, I wrote down some citations there that you could write down and then look for more information if you want to know further, to learn further about the benefits of drama. Now, the questionnaire. So I want to thank everyone that has taken the time to answer my survey, the pre-webinar task. There were many questions there, but I picked 2 or 3 that I found were the most important and that relate best to this webinar. So I see that when I asked the question, what do you hope to learn from this play? And I wrote all of the above. It was kind of silly of me because obviously you want to learn all there is about play production. And I'm not a magician, but I'll try and do my best to fulfill your wishes. So in this webinar, I will talk about basic terminology and concepts. This is something that I am going to present to you. Also, and what I want to focus on are the practical skills for producing a play. And about the insights into the creative process, I will say that you could ask me maybe some specific questions about that at the end of the webinar, because I am not sure I am going to focus a lot on that now. All right, then I'm sorry, it's in Spanish. It's because I speak Spanish and my Google form is in Spanish. So another question that I found was very important is the question that relates to how much experience do you have working in collaborative environments? Why is this important? Because you need to learn to work as part of a team. When you are putting together a play, there are so many aspects of it that you need to consider that you have to be able to delegate. And you have to be able to work with others and also listening to other people's ideas. I can give an example. Right now, in the British Council France, we are working on putting together the play Romeo and Juliet. These are students that are 13 years old, and we have 3 groups of students that are going to put this play together. So the teamwork is absolutely vital, because we have 3 different groups, 3 different teachers with 3 different personalities, 3 different ideas, and we need to be able to put it together and work together so the final result can be satisfactory for the students and also for us. So this is there is a question that is not here, that I also asked you, how difficult do you think play production is? And most of you, between 1 and 10, said that it's around in difficulty to be right in the middle, 5. So yeah, I hope that after this, you choose one, so that you can see that this can help you and make it a lot easier for you. Now, I am going to give you a step-by-step guide based on my experience on how to produce plays. So step 1, I would say, is choosing the play. So I want you to help me and tell me in the chat, what do you think are the things that you need to consider when choosing a play for your student? So, okay, good. We have age level. Okay, language, very good. All right, interesting ideas. Region, okay. Oh, the fun factor, yes, that is very interesting. Oh, resources, likes and dislikes. Okay, you're talking about students for sure. Okay, I see that again. Graded language, social context, the aim of the play. Very good. Excellent. Thank you for your contributions. You are right on track. So what do we have to consider when choosing a play? Let's go. There. So what do I need to consider? I have divided this, let's say, things to consider into 2 different groups. So we have the first one that is related to appropriacy. Is it appropriate in terms of age? So can the students relate to the content of my play? Can they understand the situations so they can engage? That is important because it should be appropriate to the age of our students. And even if the play, if you want to do a classic that is, let's say, you say, okay, maybe Romeo and Juliet is not the play for an 8-year-old. Maybe you can adapt it and make it more appropriate, but you should consider the fact that the students can understand and relate to the situations. The language level, yes, exactly. Some people mention that. And I will, I know you have heard about this, but I will go and say, what you need to consider here is like the Goldilocks ratio. Not too easy, not too hard, but it should be something that will challenge the students in a way, but it will also make them feel comfortable that they know these words, they know what they're talking about. Cultural relevance. What do I mean by this? So we know that plays reflect the culture in which they were written in. So we need to be aware about these cultural differences. So it should not be something that will contain maybe offensive language or maybe inappropriate situations for the culture in which you're going to present this play in. That also gives you a tool for students to analyze this difference, the cultural difference. Why is this situation appropriate in this culture? And why is this situation not appropriate in my culture? So this will give you time to discuss so that students can have this something that we can call intercultural competence. So this is in terms of cultural relevance. I can give you an example, and it's a funny example of a play that I directed. I don't know if you know Fiddler on the Roof. Can you tell me in the chat? Raise your hand, make a smiley face, say yes. Do you know the play Fiddler on the Roof? Okay, yes. It's a very famous musical. All right, so I will tell you a little bit about this play. So this play takes place in a village in Russia, and there is one scene that is a very important scene in which the men of the town go to a bar. So they, of course, on the script they have to order drinks. But I have to do this play with 12-year-olds, 11 and 12-year-olds. So what we did is we modified the script. And what we did is instead of having a bar, it was a tea house. So it was very funny because it was saying something like, Jazmin tea, please. Can I order 2 black teas, please? So it was very funny because I thought it was not appropriate to have students ask for alcoholic drinks. So we modified it in a way that it could be used. So that can totally be done. Now, another aspect of appropriacy is accessibility. It should be inclusive. It should consider all types of students, and it should be something that can be performed by any type of student. Now, in terms of feasibility, the length, is it too long? So what you need to consider here is the amount of time you have for rehearsal. So you should choose a play that can be correct for the amount of time that you have. And in terms of time, I will try and give you a rough estimate. And I am going to give you 2 different examples. One example is of a huge production that, for example, Fiddler on the Roof. Let's say that the play was to last 1 hour and 15 minutes, 1 hour and 20 minutes. So, and it included singing, dancing, and acting. So it was quite complex. And for that play, we usually, because I participated in 2 or 3 like this, so we usually have around 5 to 6 months of rehearsal. At the beginning, it was twice a week after school, and closer to the date, we will have a month of whole day rehearsal. So, but this is something that when we're talking about a big production. But now, if you're talking a production on a smaller scale, for example, the one I talked about before, Romeo and Juliet for 13-year-old students. We have 3 different groups. So what my class has to do is only 6 or 7 scenes. That means that it's around 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes of actual performance. So that will take me in, let's say, 5 classes of 3 hours. So the length is important to consider in terms of how much time you have for rehearsal. So it's comfortable for you and it's also comfortable for students, and there is not too much pressure and too much stress. Now, characters and rules. Does your play have enough characters and roles for all of your students? Obviously, you can always duplicate. You can have 3 Juliets. You can have 3 Romeos. It's totally doable if you are, for example, if you are to perform a classic that has like set amount of characters. And but what I will, from my experience, what I will say that when the parents go, they take the time to go to watch the play, they want to see their kids acting. So I made sure that all of my students had something to say or something to do, because when you do musicals, you can have, for example, maybe a student that does not speak but can do a nice choreography or can sing. But I know the parents want to see their kids perform, so I will try and have something for everyone. And also in terms of visibility, stage props and costumes, I'm going to talk more about this after, and how that can be done and how this is always visible. Okay, now I want you to help me and, oh, sorry, slide. Yes. So from what I said before, what are the things that you do need to consider when choosing a play? Can you write sentences that maybe are going to summarize the ideas that I presented? So, and then we can go over this and see if we have the same ideas. So write on the chat. Right, appropriacy, very good. But what in terms of appropriacy? Why? Very good. Age. Okay, excellent. Level appropriate. Okay, the relevance, very nice. Level of students, the relevance, the creativity, very good. Cultural relevance again. Okay, a lot of you think cultural relevance is important. Nice. What do you mean by artificial intelligence? Okay, originality. Yes, content. Okay. Very good. Oh, popularity. I did not consider that. That is a very interesting point. Oh, yes, the interest of students. Very good. Hey, great. Yes. Costume, age inclusivity. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you what are the things you need to consider, the do's. I'm going to try to make it the shortest possible so you can remember. Number 1, evaluate language content. Number 2, consider length in terms of rehearsal time. Number 3, consider technical requirements, and this is what I go into: props, costumes, and stage. And something that I did not mention before, but it was mentioned on the chat: involve students if possible. So you can have your students help you decide what play they would like to perform, so they will feel part of the process. I know this is not always possible because sometimes you are given something that you have to do with your students, which is totally normal and like in teaching settings. But if you can involve students, that's a great way to make them feel engaged, to make them feel part of the production. If you cannot involve students in the decisions of choosing what play they're going to perform, you can ask them to show you how they will want to perform, for example. Sit down and think, how would you show this situation while acting? And they can be part of it. If you have a set script, of course they can create some script. That's a great idea, Miranda. But I'm talking here about something that was actually existed before. Now, another thing that I consider super important is choose a play you like to. If you love something, if you feel passionate about it, you will be able to transmit this to your students so they can feel the same way you're feeling about this play that you have chosen. If you're not very sure of it and you're not sure they can do it, and then that will also be felt. So choose something that you like and choose something that you think is good also for your students. Now, step 2, the script. So step 1 was choosing the play. And now what I'm going to tell you a little bit about is the script. What is a script? So what is a script? Who can tell me in the chat? What do you think a script is? I think it's a very simple question. The storyline, the words, okay, nice. The text, oh yes, the content, dialogues, the text, the written text of the play, yes. Conversations, content, very interesting ideas. Okay, yes, exactly. The plot, very good. So this is, the script is exactly that. So we're going to talk about the elements, the main elements of a play script. I don't know if you have had previous experiences in theater and you have encountered a script, but I want to go over a little bit over this element that you need to consider when you have the script. So the first thing is the title. Very simple. Everybody knows what a title is. It's the name of the play. The playwright is the person who writes the play, or the author. The list of characters, which is different from the cast. So the list of characters are the characters that are part of your script. And the cast is the student that you chose to perform, to be those characters. Then we have the act, the scenes and settings. Usually classic plays are divided in between 3 to 5 acts. Scenes are things that happen on those acts, different situations that the script will present you with, the setting where the story takes place. The stage directions, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about the stage directions after with an example. So the stage directions are the directions that the playwright gives you on how the play should be performed. Sometimes, some playwrights give a lot of instructions, you will have a lot of stage directions, and sometimes you will have none. And sometimes you use them, sometimes you ignore them. That will totally depend on you. Now, the name of the characters, is going to be usually capitalized. It's going to be in the middle of your script, or it's going to be on the left side. And under that, you're going to have the dialogues. So these are things that the actors and actresses will say. So remember this, because now I am going to show you a script, and I'm going to show you all the different parts of this script. And I want you to tell me what these parts are. Good. So we have this. Number 1. Who can tell me what number 1 is? Can you write on the chat? What is number 1? I am talking about the script. Yes, very good, very fast. This is the title. What about number 2? Yes, good. Oh, super fast. Very good. Yes, the playwright, the author. No, it's the author. Yes, it's William Shakespeare. Very good, playwright. What about number 3? Number 3, pay attention. What is number 3? Yes, very good. It's the characters. It's the list. Very good. The list of characters. What about number 4? Yes, the cast. Good job. What about number 8? Oh, I just jumped. What is number 8? Yes, good job. The dialogue. The script is the whole thing. It's the dialogue or the line also. Very good. What about number 5? What about number 5 in green? What is that? Very good. The scene, the setting, the act. Very good. And one more. Nope. It's attention. Number 5 is the setting. What about number 6? Somebody already gave the answer for number 6. What is number 6? Yes, good job. The stage direction. Very good. So this is an example of what a script will look like, and then the things that you should have, you should consider. So we have the title, the playwright, the list of characters, the cast, the act, the scenes and the setting, the stage directions, the name of the characters. We did not talk about this, but it's there capitalized in the middle of the script, number 7, and then the dialogues. So what are the students going to say, or the lines? Excellent. So I am going to show you now something that I use in my productions that helps me remember who is doing what. So I will prepare a chart like this, in which I will have the role, the list of roles again, and then what you see, group 1, group 2, group 3 is actually, because we have 3 groups, as I said before, I was explaining the play Romeo and Juliet with the BL13. So I'm going to write the name of the student that is going to, that was casted for that part. So I will have this right after the cover of my play. I will have it there, so I will always know who is doing what. And I will just refer to that when I don't remember. So this is something that you could do, and you will also know who's what. Okay, so I know who was Benvolio. Oh, he's the nephew to Montague. So I cannot make him stand next to Capulet on stage because they are enemies. So these are the things. These are things that you might want to consider. Also, it will help you when doing the direction part, if you're going to do that. Okay, so this is the parts of the script, and now how do we organize this script? You have the script that has 5 pages, 6 pages, 20 pages, and you need to organize it somehow that it's understandable to you and to your students. So what do I do? The first thing I do in the script is I number the lines. I mark scenes clearly, number 2, and I am aware of who where. And I'm going to explain this to you on the next line. This might be a little confusing like this, but I'm going to show you how to show that on the script itself. So this is script. Again, I'm going to use Romeo and Juliet. And what I'm going to do first, I am going to write the numbers. Why? Because I don't want to scream, Joshua, page 25, Act 2, your Samson, speak. No, I will say line 1, line 2, line 3. This is especially good with little ones because they need to know what comes after and what comes before. And what they will know is, okay, I am number 4, and I know that I come after number 3. So this is, and then that helps you. So why did I use sparkle there? Because this is something you have to have in the script of the student, but also in your script. So you need to have this too. So sparkle is student and teacher share ideas. Then I have done this, number lines, as I said before, and then I need to know where is happening. And it is in pink because this is something that the teacher should be aware, or maybe the student should be aware, but the teacher needs to know, okay, so in these things, they need to be in a public place. So I need to prepare, or they need to prepare the set as if it is a public place outside. So this is something that you are going to keep in mind yourself, and maybe if the students are helping you with the set and the stage, also them. Now, setting. These are the stage directions. So this is who and where. So who has to come in here? Who has to leave? Where do they have to be? So we have here Gregory and Samson entering with swords and bucklers. So this is in pink again because these are the props. The students should go in the scene with those props. So this is something the teacher needs to know, the student to be aware of, but the teachers need to know, what do I need to ask them to bring, so they know the props. And then finally, something that is only for the students are the keywords. And the keywords are the words that they need to hear before their part. So these are the final words of each line. So they go like, okay, so I heard mend. So mend. Okay, Samson, it's your turn because you have heard mend. Maybe you tell them, okay, count to 5 and then say your part. And so you tell them that, but they should be aware of these words in the script. Okay, so this is about script. And I see that I have 15 minutes, yes. So this is something that is going to help you organize your presentation, your production. It's going to help students understand where they are, what they are doing, what they need to bring, etc. Now, what about casting? Okay, this is a question that sometimes this is something that can potentially cause problems, because there you can hurt students' feelings here. So what you need to do, and what I do, you don't have to, but what my experience has taught to me, is that it needs to look official. So the casting should look official. It should not look as if you had said, this student's going to do this student's going to do that, this student's going to do that, and you are the sole, the person that has to tell everybody what to do. No. So what do I do to make it look official? Even if you know already what students are going to be good for what parts, you can kind of think about that after the casting, or before, and tell them, I think you're going to be very good at being Juliet, so you are going to, I want you to really make an effort. So what do? In selecting and assigning roles, I have one day that is going to be only casting. So I give the students a monologue, and they do not audition for a role. What they do is they audition for the play. So I will give you this, and it is Romeo, and Juliet will also do Romeo's part. But what I want to do is how you handle yourself on stage. So I am going to give them this. They're going to come. We're going to take it home. They're going to come, and they're going to do. They're going to sign in for the casting. Not everybody has to sign in. That means that your casting is to give the main roles. So only the students that were part of this casting are the ones that are going to get the main roles. And then you're going to divide the rest of the script to the other kids that were not in the casting. The casting score sheet is very important because the highest scores will get the most important roles, and this is something that you'll have to decide what are the most important roles in this play. I'm going to show you a rubric, and that is also in the post-webinar task, so you can look at it there, and also the role assigning. So this is a casting score sheet. What I just do this on Excel. It's very simple. I just write the name of my students, the name of the teacher, And I'm going to show you how to do this, like interpretation, voice, how to assign scores for this. And then you can just have your computer where you just write the numbers here, and then you have total. And then you can organize you can do the role assigning after with this information. Now, right, 1 minute, right. So on the next slide, oh, I have a problem. Oh, there you go. All right, so next slide is the rubric. So just please tell me if I'm going too fast, but I was saying that you could use this. This is your audition rubric. It was used for Romeo and Juliet. And this is the rubric. So what do I do here? I just make it simple. I just write 3, 2, 1, and I will write what are the things that I am looking for when I will assign this point. I'm sure all of you know where rubric is, so I don't need to go into too much detail. And it's your decision. Do you want to use whole numbers? Do you want to use decimals? Maybe you're going to have, instead of saying 2, you say 2.75, because giving from 3 to 2, there's it's very different. So this is a decision that you are going to make about how you want to write the scores. And if you write the scores on this sheet, then your job is done. You just need to look and say, okay, organize this and the highest and the lowest score, and then you have your roles. So if they know this process, and if they see there is actually something official that will tell my teacher that I am the best for this or that role, that helps so much in terms of students feeling that they have been fairly judged. And if you can have other people do that for you, you can have other teachers that can come and do the casting and write the score. That's so much better. It makes it absolutely official. Okay, so this is in terms of the rubric forecasting. Now, the costumes and props. So, what do you think about this? Do you think do you only need to have professionally made costumes for a play? Are they really that important? Can you share your opinion in the chat? What do you think about costumes and props? Okay. All right, use special costumes for every character. All right. Is it relevant to the character? Interesting. If students do that, it will be nice. Oh, encourages creativity. Yes, homemade is good. I agree. Okay. Oh, they are secondary. Interesting opinion. Props can be handmade. You can create them. Students can be in charge of props too. Very good. Collecting, making them. Oh, nice. It depends on production level. Very good. Okay, should be situational and creative. It's UI for students. Oh, gymnastics is not important. Do you care to talk more about that, Jamila? Okay, for collaboration. They don't have to be perfect. That's correct. All right, good. Thank you for your opinions. And yes. So what you need to do is, first of all, we talk a little bit about how to organize costumes and props. So what I will do is I will list the characters and the required costumes, and I will list the props per scene. So I was saying Romeo needs this, Juliet needs that. It totally and absolutely depends on budget. So you could, as I said, do something with a lot of money or with zero money. And I have been in the two extremes. I had productions that had a great big budget and productions that had a budget of €0. So this is an example of how you can present maybe your costumes And the props, if you want to ask maybe for them to be professionally made or made at home, or even if you just wanted to present it to your students, if they're going to make them in class. Let's say this was a production of, it was a musical called King David. So we have here an Israeli soldier, and there is an example of what the leather vest should look like, and what should the colors of the tunic be. So I give you a palette of colors, so you know what colors are expected to appear on scene. And there is a description. How do you want this to be? Now, if you're going to be professionally made, you can just give it to the person that is going to design the costumes, and the person will just do it. Now, if you're going to make them at home, you can also give this to the parents to make it a little bit easier, maybe. Instead of asking students to have a leather vest, that you can ask them to use another type of material, or maybe something they could construct at home with other types of materials, and maybe not so many specifications, because this is very specific. And then if you're going to make them in class, you can just do it in class. I mean, I don't need to have a brown leather vest if I can use cardboard paper for it, like brown cardboard paper. And then we just got it in class, and maybe it's not necessary to have like a vest. We can have like something that looks like a vest, so we can stick on the top of a white shirt. I mean, there are so many ways in which you can do this, that you don't necessarily need to have a huge budget for it. The same thing about the set. So the set, it has to be something simple. I just repeated the same thing because it could be done professionally at home or in class. You can let your imagination run wild. You can even not have a set. I heard about a production of Shakespeare, that Romeo and Juliet, that only had boxes on stage, and the characters will actually take out their costumes and wear them on stage. So that's like an excellent idea. It depends on your creativity and the creativity of your students also, if you involve them in this performance. Now, the last part is rehearsing. So in terms of rehearsing, there are some things that you need to consider. For example, you need to organize rehearsal. You need to understand what acts do you have, how many scenes per act, and you need to, or it is very helpful if you, I think I'm just giving too many orders. I'm sorry, it's a teacher in me. You can, it's a good idea, you calendarize them. But it doesn't necessarily need to be in the order of the scenes and acts. What you can do here is prioritize. So you say, okay, so this scene is super hard. It requires half of the cast to be on stage. So I am going to start with this one, because this is going to be the hardest one. And then I'm going to go, or I will work on the other scenes that are easier on the side. Maybe even the students can work on their own while you are working with this huge scene. So I have an example here. I'm sorry, it's in Spanish, but this is something that I used back in Paraguay. In Paraguay, we speak Spanish. So you can see an example. We have twice a week after school rehearsal. This was the beginning, because the play was supposed to be in July. So this was the beginning. And then we had like what scenes I'm going to work on, and then what songs. The S means like the scene, the D means the dance, because it was a musical, and the A means the acting, or no, sorry, it's the singing. No, sorry, it's the acting. Sorry, everyone. The S is the singing. I'm confusing everyone, am I? Okay. So what I did is I worked on this different scenes, different days, and I organized them in different ways. So for example, I chose one day maybe in school in which I put all of this together once a week. So they knew what comes after, one comes before, but if they already know their numbers, the number of lines, they know that, okay, so this is line 1, I am 50, I'm obviously not before that one. I have to wait a certain amount of time and it's going to be my turn. So this is what I do in terms of rehearsal, and well, that is all from me today. Thank you very much for listening. I know I had to go fast at the end, but it was important to spend time at the beginning so you could understand how to do this. And then you can find me there on LinkedIn as Jazmin Cazal, and also my email. So thank you very much, and thank you for your participation.
Thank you so much, Jazmin. It's a whole world of things that I want to learn about now because, yeah, like you said, it's a lot to do, isn't it? And everyone's really said in the chat that they liked all the practical examples and the tools that you use to organize. Those are really great.
Yeah, I prepared a checklist for you. I love checklists. It's the best thing. Yeah, I think that's going to help you.
Great. So yeah, if you want to get Jazmin's checklist, the email, the links will be emailed to you, and we'll put it in the chat as well. And that's a PDF that you can download. Yeah, thanks for doing that, Jazmin, because I think everybody wants to remember all of those many points of things that they want to watch out for. So we've got lots of questions. I'm going to choose a couple that I think are interesting. Who are the viewers of the performances that you put on in Paris? Is it parents? Is it classmates?
I put the performances in Paraguay. I worked for school. So yes, we had school had a theater. Well, so this is a huge production. I just wanted to explain this is huge, but it can be done in smaller scale. So there were like at least 500 people, and there were parents, grandparents, friends, etc. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, really something for the students to be proud of then when people are coming to watch them. Someone else asks about doing a smaller production in a class, and they say there's some students have a bit of a low motivation or might be shy to participate. Do you have any advice for helping those students be part of things?
All right, so I know this question was going to come, and the thing is that they need to feel they are part of it, and they need to feel that they are important for that play. So I know there are kids that are shy, and maybe you can also, if you have kids that are super, super shy, maybe you can give them a part that is very short, not something that requires a lot from them, but they are participating, and maybe you can see what other talents do they have. For example, I have a student that does not want to speak a lot, so I gave her one line, but I am asking her to do the design of the playbill. So she's going to bring the playbill. We're going to use that to show the characters and everything to the parents. So yeah, that will be my advice.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, I'm sure there are people who could end up working backstage and things like that, and still feeling proud of their work. Great. Let's see, anything else? Some questions have already been answered about do you let your students choose the character or do you make suggestions? But yeah, let's touch on that again. Do you make suggestions or do you do all the choosing?
I mean, the thing is that what if 5 students want to be alone?
Yeah, okay.
So the thing is that this is why I spoke about the importance of casting, and that they understand what is expected from them. And if they're going to be casted as the character they want to be casted in, they need to prepare for it. And they need to understand that if they don't get it, they still have other important things to do in the play. But it can cause a lot of problems if a student feels that he or she or they are not being fairly judged, and that if two or three or more than, I don't know, 10 want to have the same character, it's just not possible. So yeah, I don't usually let them choose because of that. And I obviously explain, it's not that I would say, and I try not to do the choosing also. I try casting to do the choosing, so they know how they're being chosen, and that other people have looked at their performance and decided that their scores, etc.
Yeah, so that's the using the rubric, right, to keep yourself apart from a little bit away from the process. That's a good tip. I have a question that came in from Facebook, because lots of people are also joining on Facebook, and it's from Honey Thin. And Honey asks, do you know any books that are appropriate that I could find plays to teach primary students? So Honey's got younger students.
I don't know any specific books, but any play that is a famous one or a classic, you can turn it into a play. I mean, you can even write your own script according to the level of your students. You can, something simple. I don't know. I know I mentioned Goldilocks, and I know this is like something that has come up before, but you can just like choose something classic that they really know or they really like, and then you present that as a play for the class. So with little ones, I will do that. I will use something they already know. So and then just put it in a play format. And I don't know any right now from the top of my head, but I'm sure that on internet you will have maybe sites that have free not copyrighted material that you can use. There is one site that I do not remember right now, but it has 1-act plays. So that's really good. You can just look for free 1-act plays, and then you can find those there.
Oh, that sounds great. If we find it, we'll put it in the links that we email to everyone at the end. One kind of really nice last question I want to ask. Do you ever have students that they might feel shy communicating in the English class, but when they do a play, they feel less shy in communicating?
You know, this is an excellent question, Melissa, because this is something that I discovered after doing plays, that there were so many students that were super, they were extroverted, speaking in class. And there were some other students that were shy, quiet, a little bit more laid back. And then suddenly, when you see them on scene, they like shine.
Wow.
And you're like, oh my God. So it's so incredible to see that. And this is something that you maybe do not expect, and that happens, and it really makes you feel proud of what you're doing. That it's making a change in someone's life.
Well, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to end on there. So I hope everyone is inspired by Jazmin. I definitely am, to go out and find out and start with a little production and get bigger. So thank you so much, Jazmin, for coming today.
Thank you.
Thanks for producing the handout that people can take away, and that will get emailed to you along with the link for the recording. And